Welcome everybody to Hobbs Eagle basketball as we're in Odessa, Texas. We are watching the JV game with just under 4 minutes to go. The score is 66-55 with the Eagles up on the Panthers. And they have been, at least since halftime, the Eagles have been on top. Three-pointer on the way and dropped. Nicely done. Got the Mojo Country here. As we're in, once again, Odessa, Texas, just 90 miles away, roughly. And in Texas time. So we're going to be starting here just afterwards. Probably get about a 20-minute warm-up, and then we'll have the pregame. Of course, this will be on the internet, on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and also on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page, as well as the Cool 95.7 app, because we'll also be on the radio, Cool 95.7. Be back in a moment. I am taking over for, or at least covering for Ty Friend for one game. This is Ron Gunter. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage or get things started on the pregame as soon as the JV squad is through. Once again, score right now 66-58 after that three-pointer. We'll be back in just a few. Minute 32 remaining in this JV game as we have a 76-61 lead for the Hobbs Eagles. Thank you very much for being here on this Saturday afternoon where we're going to be having the Hobbs Eagles hosted by the Panthers of Permian in Odessa, Texas. This is Ron Gunner taking place for at least one game for Ty Friend. As he'll be back next week, he'll be in Albuquerque. In fact, he'll be up there before me to cover the first two games of the boys, and I'll be covering the girls for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. We'll be talking about that later on. But right now, we're going to get started soon. We've got a minute 32 remaining in this game. And then afterwards, we will start with the pregame for the Hobbs Eagles as soon as they give us a time as far as how much they're going to give for warm-ups. Once again, 76-61, JV up by 15, and we'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. With just under 14 seconds to go, it is 79-64, and a foul will put, actually it won't be putting them on the line. It was not a shooting foul, so we will, since neither team is in bonus, we'll continue on with 13 seconds remaining. And that will go in for two for the Panthers. It is now an 8-point lead for Hobbs as the clock runs down to 0. 79-67 is the score. JV are victorious. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here. That was bonus for the JV squad. sorry about the sound for the internet. 8-4 is the score, 4:16 to go. Always something, as that is David with 3 on the way and drains it. His second actually his first 3, his second bucket of the game. That was an assist by Beatty. As he goes the other way quickly for a 3-pointer, that'll be an assist. It is going to be good. Barry with the assist and buried it once again. Second one for Bartlett. Got to put a hand in his face if they want to stop him from shooting those easy threes. And it'll be 11-7 for the score. Going back the other way after a bad possession by Hobbs. Into the hands, and a 3-pointer on the way. Misses it off the side. That'll be K.J. Miller. A 3 on the way, and good once again for Bartlett, his third, and a timeout for Hobbs as they try to regroup. 14-7, doubled up on him with 3:31 to go. It's Hobbs trailing, and it is all here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We'll be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back to live coverage right here in Odessa, as that was a 3-pointer on the way for Soria. No good. Going to be rebounded by, in the end, it's almost Beatty, but that was Barry who got it. Goes back the other way, and that'll be underneath the basket for Beck. And he is going to be out of bounds going the other way. So a turnover for the Panthers. Fast action back and forth so far. 3:06 remaining in the first, and it is 14-7 with Hobbs down by 7 to the Panthers. This young team is so far leading the Hobbs Eagles. Of course, they've been led before, and Hobbs have been able to come back. Soria to the left now, and in the hands of, that'll be Lowe. Going to go out of bounds after that shot attempt. Misses. It will be inbounded by Beck. So Bari Beck on the Panthers with a tray to his name. We've got 2:45 remaining in the first. Clay on, that would be Miller, K.J. Miller, as he gets across the timeline. Goes inside, stops, drops it. No, instead it goes out of bounds. Didn't look like much of a shot attempt, but nevertheless a turnover for the Panthers. Third one of the game so far. So far, clean game, as there's only been 2 fouls so far for Hobbs, done for the Panthers. Low across the timeline, go over to Clay to the left wing. He's going to go ahead and drive it one-on-one. He's going to go ahead and lay it up and put it in on the left-hand side for 2. That is 2 points for Clay. 14-9 is the score as it goes back the other way. That'll be Beck. Beck on the left wing. Looking against Clay once again. Gets a screen, but does not use it. As he goes back to the right, shoots up a 3 and hits off the front of the rim. No good. It'll be rebounded by, that'll be Lowe. His first. 14-9, under 2 minutes to go. Lowe with the ball. As he gets it over to Clay, dishes it to the left, goes back to the right, and going to get actually I thought that was going to be a hold foul, but instead Clay is going to bring up a foul. That'll be his third for the team as it goes back the other way. Turnover for Hobbs, second one. And actually it'll be inbounded, need to be inbounded, so apparently they did not do that right. So gets the whistle, tries to do it again with 1:43 to go. Oh, substitution, that's what it was. So coming out of the game is that Barry. And now back to it with K.J. Miller on the ball. gets double team. Actually, I thought he was double team. That was just somebody who was on the sideline. Will go for a 2, and in and out, no good. Will be rebounded by David. Oh, no, got taken away from him. And put up and in for the Panthers. That'll be Everett, his first. 16-9, minute 16 to go. Clay with the ball. Goes back to Lowe on the right wing. You're getting challenged by K.J. Miller. Screen and tries to get inside, but instead gets double teamed. Goes ahead and puts up a running floater, misses, and the rebound will be Soria as he goes to 3, misses that one off the back of the rim for the three-pointer on the left-hand side, and it is back to the Panther ball with Beck. As he drives the lane, tries to go coast to coast, but instead gets it out of bounds. Instead, no, he did not. He tried to rescue it, but instead it steps off out of bounds, and it will be turnover for the Panthers, number 4. And Hobbs Eagles with possession of the ball with 47.2 seconds remaining in the first. Down by 7 right now. Hobbs needs to get the ball and does with Clay. Crosses the timeline, runs it, and will get the bump foul before the shot. So that'll be the first one for the Panthers. I believe that was against KJ. Again, they're not posting those on the scoreboard. Gets it back out to Clay. 42 seconds remaining. Goes to the left wing. Tried to drive, double teamed to Soria. Going to drive the lane on that one up the middle. Tries a floater, misses, and it will go out of bounds, I believe, as it went over the backboard. And Soria limping. Not a good sign, as we hope he's able to get off the court as he is substituted by, that is Beatty. Beatty's going to be inbound of the ball, so did not lose it, did Hobbs. 16-9 is the score with 32.42 remaining, and they are underneath their own basket. Hurry up and get it in. They did, and underneath tried to get the layup and put in, but no good for Proby, but did get the rebound. Beatty with the ball as he is driving the lane, gets double teamed, tries a floater, didn't make it, got the rebound, and that is going to be by Marquez. Nope, sorry, that is going to be by Mora. His attempt is no good, but he will go to the line to shoot 2. And I believe that is going to be against K.J. Miller. Team's second, though, as Mora is on the line to shoot 2. Mora has been 2 of 6 from the season, or this season so far. First one is up and will be off the front of the rim. One more attempt with 18.74 seconds remaining. Hope you're having a good one out there on this Saturday. Thank you very much for being here. This is Ron Gunter. For those who did not hear, Ty Friend is on vacay, and second one is up, no good. Rebounded by Permian. Going to be inbounded after all of that. 15 seconds remaining in the backcourt still is going to be Miller, KJ. KJ does get it across with 9 seconds to go. Now down to 5. And we'll get the call. Unfortunately, looks like that'll be against, in the area that was Proby. But not a shooting foul. Actually, it's going to be, that will be the 5th. After all, apparently I wasn't counting my fouls, but nevertheless, 16-9, 5 fouls. So that means Permian in the bonus for the rest of the 3.95 seconds in this quarter. First one is up and good for KJ. One more opportunity. Gets up and sinks in all. So it'll be 2 for 2 from the line. 18-9. Last second shot off the back of the glass for Lowe, and unable to get it to drop. We've got second quarter coming up here in a moment. 18-9 with the score. We'll be back in 30 seconds as we're on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We are back as it is a first quarter of 18-9. Bartley with 9 points so far, leading the squad. Along with Beck, he has a tray for 3. And Everett has 2 points. That is the Panthers side. For the Hobbs Eagles, it is 5 points for Malachi David, who is leading the team, along with Soria and Clay, both with a deuce each. Clay is the only one who's able to get to the line. He has been 0 for 2 from the line so far. Meanwhile, it is 4 for 4 from the line for the Panthers. One of the reasons why they have the 9-point lead going into the second. As we are about to get ready and underway, I want to thank everybody for joining us on this Saturday and making sure that you enjoy it as well. Of course, we also have Hobbs Lady Eagles at the Tasker Arena going on as well. So lots of basketball action to catch throughout this day, as well as, of course, later on tonight, there is the NFL still going strong. Going to be inbounded. Going to go over to KJ Miller, who gets across the timeline. And back over to KJ Miller after he got it to Beck. Going to sling it over to the right wing. Thought about a 3, but got blocked out by Malachi. And will now get back to inside and out for a 3-pointer again. This time does drain. That is going to be by Everett. Zarius Everett for his first. Get it in. And increases the lead 21-9, 7:32 remaining, as it is Hernandez, who is getting double teamed right now, gets across the timeline. Gets it to Soria, also double teamed. Back to Hernandez, and they seem to be doing a very good job double teaming the ball carrier or handler. Back to Clay, top of the arc, going back to the timeline. Looking over as Soria is moving to his left-hand side. Thought about a 3, is going to drain it, and he does. He hits a 3 from the left wing. And quickly the other way for Panthers, as it is in the hands of Beck. Tries to get outside. Almost thought he lost it, but he did not. Instead, he stayed in bounds over to KJ Miller to the left wing now. Back to KJ at the left elbow. Inside, tries to feed underneath, does. Loses the handle and has to get it back to KJ as he puts up a 3 and hits off the front of the rim. Will be saved to Soria, who gets the ball. So a long rebound. Soria thought about a 3. Instead, at the top of the arc, it'll be a left-hander from Beatty. Misses that tray, and one and done. Going back the other way quickly for KJ Miller as he goes inside. That'll be fed to Brazil. And up and under for a running shot. Misses is Beck. Gets it back to him after they get the rebound. And will be another miss this time around for Marquez. Quickly the other way for Hobbs, as I believe it was Soria who got the rebound. And it is Beatty who is going to get a bad pass stolen. And it'll be 1-on-2 as he lays it up and in. And that'll be an easy layup shot for, that'll be for Everett. Soria with the ball inside to Malachi. And David gets it back to Soria for a 3. Misses off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Clay. Going to put it up. Misses and runs it down, but could not get the ball after that rebound. Going the other way and going underneath the basket. Tried to get it a layup, but could not get it to fall. That was Marquez. Back the other way for Hobbs. Another rebound for them as Soria is double teamed. Gets it over to the left wing to Beatty inside, and that'll be to Hernandez. Underneath, tried to get a shot in and missed. Rebounded by, that'll be the Panthers and Everett, his second. Going back the other way for the Panthers with 5 minutes to go as they slow down the pace. It'll be 1-on-1 as it's Beck versus, well, that'll be stolen by Clay. Goes the other way quickly, lays it up and puts it back in. Nicely done for Clay, 4 points for him on that fast break point. And speaking of fast breaks, we'll go ahead and get a foul as that was Bartley once again trying to get Everett trying to get it into sophomore. Instead, it looks like he's going to get fouled by Malachi. David Malachi. Hobbs is first, though. But a shooting foul, nevertheless, will put him to the line to shoot 2. That'll be, of course, once again, Zarius Everett. First one up and off the front of the mark. That's the first miss for the Panthers in this game. 23-14, 4:38 remaining in the first half. As Everett has one more opportunity, puts it up and does drain it. Going to be a substitution coming in. Looks like it'll be the hot hand. Bartlett, as coming out will be Everett after making that one of two from the line. Soria with the ball, directing traffic as he does get across the timeline. Goes to the left-hand side. Gets it inside to David, Malachi David, and it looks like it'll be a push-off foul. Will it be offensive or defensive? It will be against Panther Bartlett, his first, I believe, but team's first as well. So Hobbs with the ball. Over to David, over to Hernandez, left wing. Tries to get it to Soria, but unfortunately it gets out of his hands. Just a little too much mustard on that pass, and it goes out of bounds for a turnover for Hobbs, their third. Luckily not a lot of turnovers so far in this game, but Hobbs down by 10, 24-14. It is KJ Miller with the ball, left wing, or actually right wing, back to Bartlett. Inside to Beck. Beck turns around, double teamed, and will feed it underneath, but did not get a shot. Missed that one as it was a three-pointer off the top of the arc by Barry and rebounded by Clay. David thought about a three on that one and did not take it. Takes it back to Clay. Clay's going to work the left-hand side and get it over to Soria, who's at the top of the arc. 2 rebounds for Clay. Inside to Malachi David. David's going to work 2. Put up a running shot, or actually a layup. Missed it off the back. And will be rebounded and returned by the Panthers. Tried to go coast to coast for Beck. Did not get it. The drop shot to fall, but did get that one to fall. As it is now 26-14. Clay on the left wing goes for a 3. Off the back of the rim and rebounded by Beck, his third. Back the other way for a three-pointer on the top of the arc. Misses that one, rebounded by Malachi, and a whistle quickly as a rebounding foul will happen. Looks like actually it'll be a timeout instead. So we got a timeout going on. We'll take one with it. Be back in 30 seconds as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagle Network. We're going to be on Cool 95.7 CN30.
Clear.
Thank you.
10.
I'm drowning.
5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back as we've got 2:58 remaining in this first half. And it is a score of 26-14. Thank you very much for being here. This is Ron Gunner. Hope you're having a good Saturday as Hobbs is actually having a battle on this one. They won last year in this, or actually it was at Hobbs, but they were able to win that one that broke a 7-game losing streak against this team. And that was a score of 54-46. That was when Hobbs had 5 trays and the Panthers had 3 so far. I do believe they've got more trays, more trays today than they had last year in Hobbs. 65% from the free throws, while Hobbs had 60%. Turnovers 25-13. Hobbs unfortunately had the number 25. We're still able to get the victory on that one. Right now, once again, 2:58 remaining as it is going to be inbounded by Hobbs. Over to Soria, back to Beatty. And Soria with the ball on the left wing. Going to get back to Clay, and that's going to be a push foul. That'll be going against, looks like Beck. The second team foul for the Panthers. So 2 for the Panthers, 1 for Hobbs. As we have 2:44 remaining, will be inbounded by, once again, Soria on the side. Clay's going to come up and get the ball near timeline. Back over to Beatty. Beatty's going to dribble the ball at the top of the arc, and there'll be a foul away from the ball, and that looks like it'll be against Soria, as that'll be a turnover for Hobbs, their 4th. So a foul against Soria, his second, I believe. That's his team second as well. And now KJ Miller with the ball on the left wing. Now he goes up to the top of the arc, over to the left, or right on it. Inside, turns around, and KJ with the assist, and that'll be Devin Brazil with the score. And it is now 28-14 with 2:16 remaining in the first half. Malachi, back to the left, goes and drives the lane. Is that going to count? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was in continuation. It should be, and it does count. As he lays it up on the left-hand side, does draw the foul as well. And we'll go for the and one. He is 17 of 22 so far this season as he gets that one to fall. So one attempt at the line. 28-16 is the score. 2:09 remaining in this quarter and the half. And off the front, misses it. Rebounded by the Panthers as it's back in the hands of Beck. And Beck does cross the timeline against, that would be Lowe. Goes to his left, gets triple teamed, and on the process will get held. And coach wants that to be a jump ball. I think it is going to be a jump. Nope, it's going to be a foul. And will be Beck to shoot two. He's already had two already, 2 for 2 on the line. And we'll have two more attempts with 1:51 remaining in the first half. That one does go off and misses to the right. One more attempt as everybody gets back in line. And that one does drop in. 3 of 4 so far from the line. With 1:48 remaining, it's 29-16. And Lowe inside to David. Malachi David pushes it off to the left-hand side to Hernandez. Back over to Beatty. Top of the arc as he drives the lane. One-on-one. Pushes it back out again to David. Three-pointer on the way and good for an assist by Beatty and his second tray of the game. Meanwhile, the other way for the Panthers, all the way across. Three-pointer, nope, not going to take it, but goes inside. Gets past Malachi David, and misses that shot. Picked up and tried for the rebound was Brazil, and will get the foul instead, looks like, as his shot attempt for two on the left-hand side misses. So 2 for him. First one is up and will bounce around and out for his first attempts of the game. 10-point lead still for the Panthers as they're starting to miss a few on the line. One more attempt. Actually, they've only missed 2 so far. Just recently, that one will roll in, making it 30-19 with 1:08 remaining in the first half. That is going to be Sanders in the game. We've got Lowe back over to Beatty. Beatty's going to drive the lane, going ahead inside, and that is going to be a charge, unfortunately, as that is going to be run over his opponent. That'll be Brazil. So Beatty with the call. It'll be turnover number 5 for the Hobbs as it goes the other way with just under a minute to go. In the hands of KJ, going to go ahead and, yep, he held on to it too long, tried to get it out of his hand, and when he did, he was caught traveling. Turnover 4. The Panthers, 5th one of their game so far. Goes back the other way, Lowe. Into the hands of Sanders right now on the left wing. Back to Lowe, top of the arc, actually near the timeline. Goes and drives a little bit against KJ Miller to Malachi David, and over to Hernandez. To Beatty. Beatty's going to drive the lane to the left-hand side, push it up after 2. Misses his roll-in shot. He usually gets those, but instead will get the foul. And will go to the line to shoot 2. That'll be the the 4th foul for the Panthers with 26 seconds remaining, just about. And to the line to shoot 2 again will be Beatty, his first 2 for the game. First one's going to miss off the front, unfortunately. Beatty has just missed 6 so far. Now it's 7, 11 of 17, now 11 of 18 for the season so far. One more for Beatty. Up and in. So 1 of 2 so far for Beatty. 10-point lead once again for the Panthers with 23 seconds remaining in the first. With the ball is Beck. Vari Beck has the ball as he keeps backing up. He's just at the timeline right now. 11 seconds to go, looking for the final shot of the half. Now down to 6, 5. As he goes inside, tries to push it back out, does. KJ Miller with a three-pointer. Misses, and that will be the end of the first half. 30-20 is the score. Panthers up by 10. Hobbs coming back in a moment. We're going to take a 3-minute break as we're going to continue coverage right here in Odessa, Texas, where you're on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube. You're also going to be watching this on Cool 95.7, the Facebook page. Of course, you can also listen to us on Cool 95.7, whether you're on the radio or on the app. It is all here for you worldwide as well as local. Got to watch it, listen to it, and enjoy it. Be back in just 3 minutes. Welcome back to Odessa, Texas, as we are here, home of the Panthers, and it is Permian, unfortunately, up by 10. Want to thank Paul Zielinski for the shout-out. Make sure that he is knowing that we are aware, and we have just under 4 minutes to go before the half is over with. So let's go ahead and talk numbers, and it is 6 points for Vari Beck. He is number one, senior. Along with K.J. Miller, he has had, as far as I know, no shots, but has had 1 of 2 from the line, so 1 point for him. Along with Bartlett, who has drained 3 trays. And like I said, that was what they did last season, so they are well ahead of their point production for trays. In fact, they've gotten 5 for the team, 3 of those by Dylan Bart, number 15. Also 1 from Everett, sophomore, number 20. And Barry Beck, who also has a 3 as well. So that's his 6 points right there for him. So 9 points. Nobody in double figures as of yet, unless, let's see, there is 9 points for Everett as well. So both those players with 9 points. Got a total of 5 in the books, looks like, to score. And that is how Panthers got to their 30 points, with 5 of those being trays and 7 and 10 from the line. So that is 22 of their 30 points from the line. For the Hobbs Eagles, though, they're not shooting nearly as well as they would like to, especially on the free throw line. 1 of 5 from the line. The only one who has made one so far has been Beatty, with 1 or 2 from the line. David has had 1 attempt, and he missed it, and it was 0 for 2 from Clay, which is unusual. He had come in here with 30 of 43 from the line. It is David, though, who is leading the way with scoring. He's got 2 trays, and that is 10 points. He does have double figures. Soria with 5 points off of his tray, and Clay with 4 points, 0 for 2 again from the line. So the Hobbs Eagles have got 4 in scoring in the books so far in this first half, and that's how they get their 20. Also have 2 assists, 2 steals, and 6 rebounds versus 8 rebounds from the Panthers. Both teams have an equal amount of turnovers, just 5. Not able to make those count like they should on the scoreboard, but 5 each for the turnover side in the first half. Once again, though, this is the first time. Actually, you know what? This is the first or this could be the first time that Hobbs wins here since 2014. Of course, that group went on to get the championship in 2015 for the state. Once again, 30-20 right now. 1 minute to go. We'll take a 30-second break. Be back in a moment as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Odessa, Texas, right here on Cool 95.7 and also on Cool 95.7, the app, and on the Facebook page. We're also on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Want to thank our sponsors. With that, of course, we would not be able to put these on the air. Let's thank Eastern New Mexico University, Lasco Construction, TDS, First American Bank of Hobbs, NMR Pipeline, Badger, Lasco Construction, Master Plumbers, Divine Energy, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, Forest Tire, Lee County State Bank, SunGuard, and it's Southwest Siding and Windows and Doors, along with SunGuard Precision, Bel Air Bowl, and DNC Electric. Thanks again. Without you guys, we would not be able to put these on the air, and since we don't charge, they are always for free, whether you're listening to them on the radio or watching it on any one of our carriers, whether it be YouTube or HobbsAmerica.com. And the one thing I like about HobbsAmerica.com is you can catch it anytime without any ads. Of course, if you subscribe on YouTube, you'll be able to catch all these games and not miss a single moment of Hobbs Eagle basketball. Speaking of which, we also have, of course, the Lady Eagles in process in their game as well. Of course, we'll get some updates, and when we do, we'll let you know about them. But for right now, we are in a 30-20 game, and the Hobbs Eagles are finally coming out to the court. Usually they're the ones that are out first, but this time around they had a little more to talk about with a 10-point deficit and a young team that they're facing against. Once again, this Panthers team has 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and 5 sophomores. So maybe it's the youth that is coming out and playing strong. Nevertheless, though, it'll be Hobbs inbounding as they did win the tip for the beginning of this game. Haven't led since the 2-0 early on. So as you can see on the screen, Clay's back, and that'll be over to Soria getting across the timeline, and here we go. That is Malachi David with the ball on the right-hand side. Uses up his dribble, gets it back over to Soria, over to Beatty, who's going to go to the top of the arc, going to drive. Nope, he's going to go ahead and put up a long 2, misses off the front, rebounded by K.J. Miller. And there is a push foul going the other way. Didn't see who it was against, but I know it's going to be against Hobbs. They're first. So Permian with the ball right now, 7:30 remaining. 10-point lead for Permian. And the Panthers get it in the front court. KJ near the timeline, going to go ahead and work against Hernandez. He hands it off to Barry. And now back to, that is going to be Beck, number 1. KJ Miller once again, this time drives the lane, gets triple teamed, and loses it out of bounds. He's going to go out of bounds, but last touch by Hobbs. Looked like that was Malachi David who touched it last. Nevertheless, inbounding the ball with 7:15 to go will be that Barry. That's for Permian. Into the hands of Calicut, and knocked out by Beatty. Beatty gets the ball back after a nice little pass from Soria. Soria with the assist, and Beatty with the shot, 2 points on the left-hand side. 30-22 now, as it is in the front court for the Panthers. Off to the left wing, and now far left, back over to K.J. Miller, working against Hernandez. Going to go ahead and try to drive the lane, pushes it up, and his shot is off the mark, no good, and will be rebounded by Malachi, who is going to get it to a streaking Beatty, and he is going to get, can't tell if he's going to get the call or not. Sounds like he's going to go ahead and get a block foul against him as well. Nope, he did not get the shot. That was a charge. So it'll be against Beatty. Unfortunately, that was a nice shot, but unfortunately it doesn't count because he gets the charge call. 30-22, and looks like we've got, we may have a tech against Ross. Ronald Ross was talking about something about that last call, and I don't blame him either. It looked very suspect, but it looks like it may be just a warning this time as the ref stopped the clock and went over there. He was just standing next to him, and we'll be talking to him for a moment. So we have a timeout right now, unofficially, 6:25 to go, 30-22. And, yep, I do believe that is going to be a warning because there's no shots going on right now, as inbounding the ball once again will be Barry for the Panthers. Get it over to Beck, and he crosses the timeline against Clay. Going to go ahead and get it over David. Gets it a shot made and put in for 2. And that'll be fixing the clock. There we go. 8-point lead. David underneath, and nicely done as he's fed by Clay for the 2. Increases his point production to 12, and it is now 32-24, an 8-point lead for the Panthers. 5:45 remaining in the third quarter. KJ with the ball right now as he's working against Hernandez. Back over to Beck, top of the arc with Clay on him. As the offense is going around and around, it'll be the three-pointer of Bartlett. Back over to Beck. Puts up a 3 anyway off the side of the mark, hits the back rim, and it'll be Beatty with the ball, goes over to Clay for an assist. Couldn't get it, but he does get the rebound for Beatty. That's 2 rebounds in a row right there. And then Clay with the shot that'll be fouled. So Beatty trying to keep him in, but the shot's not falling. However, that will be a foul against the Panthers. Their first. Team's first. Clay with his first attempt will roll in and out. Not going to make it. Actually, that is his third attempt on the line. 0 for 3 is Clay so far. One more attempt, though, for him with 5:14 to go in the third. So here he goes one more time, trying to get that in. Bouncing the ball. Puts it up and off the front of the rim. So 0 for 4 for Clay, unfortunately. And he is having some bad luck on the line. Gets in the hands of Beck. Goes coast to coast, puts up a running shot to the left and sinks it. And so far, Panthers are having ease with the shots as they increase the lead back to 10 again. Soria now gets a reach-in foul. That'll be against. Looks like that'll be Everett, and that'll be the second team foul for the Panthers. So not a shooting foul. Will be inbounding the ball with 4:51 remaining in the third quarter with a 10-point lead for the Panthers. And Beatty on the side. Over to Soria. Thought about driving the lane. Instead gets it over to Beatty. Goes ahead and drives. Puts up a running shot. Misses off the front. And will be ended up rebounded by Beck. His fourth. Beatty, that's Clay on Beck. Now that's KJ Miller. As it is Hernandez on him. He tries to elude the coverage. Could not. Goes in, drives the lane, gets double teamed, and look at the foul. Looks like that could be Beatty as he came in late. No, it'll be Hernandez who picks up the foul. Third one for the team. And 4:22 remaining. Not a shooting foul, so it'll be inbounded by Barry. And that'll be bounced in and out, bounced around, and finally picked up by Clay. Another steal for him. His third. Hernandez over to Beatty. Beatty for a 3 on the left wing. And air ball on that one as it is rebounded by Soria. Gets up and in. Nope, not up for Clay on that one, and missed it on the right-hand side. Other way for KJ. Tries to lay it up, puts it. Nope, didn't make it. And it's rebounded by... That would be Everett. Almost stolen by Beatty. Ends up a 3-point attempt and make by Everett, his second of the game. That puts him in double figures. 37-24, quickly the other way. Soria with the ball, thought about driving, instead goes to his left. And now all the way over to Clay on the right wing. Looking around to Soria on the left. Trying to get around his opponent. Goes ahead and drives. Puts it up and in as he falls backwards. 2 more points for Soria. That's 7 for him altogether. And 3:17 to go. 37-26, a 9-point difference. Actually, 11-point difference. Up and misses. Double team, though. That was Beck who put it on his hip first before he tried to drive it in and get the running righty to bounce off the glass, but instead gets blocked and will get the foul call. That'll be number 4 against Hobbs, unfortunately. And to the line to shoot 2 will be Beck. He is 3 of 4 so far in this game. So first attempt is in. One more opportunity for Beck, as it is now 38-26 with 3:08 remaining in the third. These two teams have an average of the third quarter, 16.3 for Hobbs, 16 points in the third for the Permian Panthers. Turns around after that rebound and misses. Rebounded by David instead for his third. And that was Everett's third as well. Puts it up and in. That'll be a 2-pointer. And that'll also be a timeout for Hobbs. We'll take one with him. 2:54 remaining. Be back in 30 seconds as we continue coverage right here on Cool 95.7. All right, welcome back as we continue coverage right here. We're in a timeout, so just found out that the Hobbs Lady Eagles are up 13-0 so far early. That does not surprise me, especially after they were having such a hard time early yesterday trying to get some scoring, but finally got the win against the Oregon Mountain Knights. I think they're playing Centennial today, so that'll be interesting. And, of course, they have both teams, both Hobbs Eagle teams, are going to be going to the Metro Tournament next week starting Tuesday. We've got that all on Hobbs coverage as well. And, of course, the Hobbs Eagles will be on the radio, Cool 95.7, to give you the latest. I believe 5:15 or 5:45 is the start time for both of those games. They'll be on at the same time. Of course, one will be on the radio and one will not. Ty will be covering the boys, and I will be covering the girls for the tournament. Let's get back into the action with 2:53 remaining as it is KJ Miller with the ball as he crosses the timeline, goes to his right. And Will thought about a three, but instead, no, he's going to get it back after getting it from Everett. Gets double teamed, goes ahead and puts up a shot, misses off the right, and it will go out of bounds. Last touch looks like it'll be by the Panthers. So Hobbs with that, turnover for the Panthers. First one, as we have 2:33 remaining in this third quarter. Soria with the ball on the right-hand side. Gets over to Malachi. He's going to turn around. Goes ahead, puts up a shot. Almost gets it, but instead will miss. And that'll be rebound by, that is, Brazil. Quickly the other way. Thought about a three. Instead pulls it up. Goes inside. Passes it over to the right or left wing. Actually, that is the right wing. Up for a shot for Beck, and it bounces around and drops in for him. That is going to be about 15 points for him so far in this game. Soria with the ball now. Inside to David, could not handle the pass. And a turnover for Hobbs. Quickly the other way will be an inside shot. Up and in for, that'll be from KJ Miller. 2 points, his first. As it goes. Actually, no. Stoppage of clock, that or the play. Looks like we've got a timeout. Hobbs timeout, full timeout. Let's take one with him. We'll be back in 30 seconds to be continuing coverage right here on Cool 95.7. Hobbs with a timeout, wanted to get regrouped as they are down by 14 right now, 42-28. And all these answers, all these questions they need answered, and they need to do it within the next 9.5 minutes if they want to get back into this game to get on the right foot to be able to get started for the Albuquerque Metro Tournament, or the APS Tournament that is going to be starting on Tuesday. We'll talk about that after this game. Inbounded to Clay in the back of the court as he's near the timeline. Goes over to, that is going to be, that was Proby. Back over to Hernandez. Clay near the area, and he has to go all the way back before he gets pushed. And that will be Everett who gets the foul. Push foul on that one as he almost pushed him off to the back court, but instead that'll just be the third for the Panthers. Inbounding the ball will be Proby. Darius over to Beatty. Beatty to the top of the arc. Goes back a little bit against KJ. And now to the right. Over to Clay, top of the arc once again. Drives the lane, goes inside, pushes, and rolls in on the right-hand side for the righty for two. Nice shot, Clay. 6 points for him. Goes back the other way quickly. And that'll be KJ Miller, looks like. who is floundering over there, trying to get the shot as he was going from right or left to right, driving the lane, gets a push foul, and that should be the 5th, and it is. So instead of an inbound, they're going to go ahead and have him shoot 2 for Miller. Coming out of the game, looks like that was the one that got the call. That would be Lowe. So Lowe is out for the moment. First shot for Miller is a miss. So far, 1 of 2 now. 1 of 3 from the line for KJ. Coming in will be David. Going out, looks like it will be Hernandez. So Malachi David. And the second shot is good for KJ. 1 out of 2 on that one. And overall, 2 of 4 from the line. Beatty quickly driving the lane, gets underneath too much, hits off of it, and it is gotten by Everett, but taken back. That is going to be that is Lowe. No, Proby got it. Pushed it over to Beatty. Beatty was able to get the shot. Didn't make it, but drew the foul. As that'll be number 4 for the Panthers, but it's a shooting foul, so Beatty will go into the line to shoot 2. Beatty's 1 of 2 from the line so far tonight, or today. First one is up, and it is in. Nicely done. 2 of 3 so far for Beatty. And they need all the points with 37.74 seconds remaining. Beatty up for one more, and does get it to bounce in. 3 of 4. Nice recovery so far for Beatty. He hasn't had too many running shots. He's only got a bucket so far in this game. Meanwhile, running across the lane. That's a travel after he was able to get inside the lane, get double teamed. He was trying to get around everybody, but in the process, he stumbled and got the travel. 30.23 remaining. I do believe that was KJ Miller that was the one that was doing that. Of course, you saw that on the screen. As it is 3-on-3, Soria versus Miller. Over to David, over to Beatty. Beatty streaking underneath and gets it blocked. No foul. As it gets crossed back to the Permian side. Beck with the ball. As the whistle blows as he was going out, trying to set up the offense. Oh, and I see we've got an injury, and unfortunately it is Beatty, and he is grabbing his left leg. His knee to be exact, so we do not want to see that. All the players are important, and Beatty is one of them, but hoping to see if he is okay. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in just 1 minute as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs Eagle Network, whether you're on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, or on Cool 95.7, whether it be the Facebook page or you're listening to it live on the radio. Welcome back as Beatty is sitting on the bench. Luckily, he doesn't look like he has hurt too much, but he will be out for a little bit, at least for the remainder of the 13.72 seconds remaining. 43-32 is the score, and Permian with the ball with 10 seconds to go. You can expect to see them to wait for the last second to get the last shot of this quarter. As it is KJ Miller, 4 seconds to go, pushes it inside, gets it up for Everett, misses, and that is the quarter. 43-32 is the score. We're hoping to see Beatty come back. Looks like he might. He did not go to the training room. We'll be back in 30 seconds as we continue coverage and get into the fourth quarter right here on Cool 95.7, whether you're on the Facebook page, on the app, or on HobbsAmerica.com. All right, welcome back as we are about to get underway on the fourth quarter, and Hobbs is trailing by 11. This could be the test that they needed but not wanted. They probably wanted to be closer to the score, but nevertheless, though, they still have 8 minutes to go. Permian, though, playing a great defense as far as keeping the Hobbs Eagles from scoring and also being able to get those turnovers to become points. So they're taking advantage, making their opportunities count as they're about to inbound the ball. Hobbs taking as long as they can to get that huddle broken up. It looks like it'll be the starters once again. It'll be Beatty, David, Soria, along with Hernandez and Clay on the floor. Over to Beck, drives the lane, goes underneath, and could not get his shot to drop. Almost got it recovered, but instead Malachi with the long rebound. Fourth one of the game for him as is in the hands of Clay. Over to Beatty now. Top of the arc near the timeline. Goes forward to the right. Gave it to Clay, who's on the right wing. Goes inside. Spins and moves. Gets double teamed and puts it up and in. And I think that is going to count as he also draws the foul. So it did count. Clay to the line. First one for the Panthers for the fouls in the fourth quarter. And Clay has been 0 for 4 so far. Drops that one, though. Nicely done. And it will be 43-35, an 8-point difference. Over to the left-hand side to KJ, and he stumbled. Thought about one thing and his feet did another, so got caught traveling. And it would go back the other way. It will be a turnover for Panthers. That is their second one only for the half. Not a lot of turnovers on either side, but nevertheless, though, that one was a big one for Hobbs, I believe. Beatty with the ball after it was given to Soria. And now over to Clay, back to Soria. Trying to get an opening. Right-hand side into Beatty underneath the basket. Double teamed. Puts it up on a lefty layup and in. Nicely done. 4 points from the for him, or 2 shots have been made, and it is now 37-43. Hobbs on a bit of a roll right now as it is Beck on the left wing. Getting Soria, and Soria gets the push foul on that one. As that is the first one for the team for Hobbs. So it'll be inbounded by the Panthers. So Beck was going to inbound, but instead looks like he's going to be going. I said it's not Beck. That was Moses to the bench. Inside to Everett on the inbound. Back as it is stolen by Beatty. He steals it. He's going to go coast to coast, put up a layup, and it will bounce out. But Beatty almost had the rebound, but instead over Hernandez for his first. Clay with the ball as he is able to push it in. It looks like he's going to get the foul, maybe get the shot as well. We'll find out in just a moment. That's right. Let's see. So we've got a timeout instead. We'll talk about it, or they'll talk about it, and we'll talk about another sponsor. We're going to be coming back in 30 seconds as we continue coverage right here on Cool 95.7, the greatest hits of all time. Well, we got an injury scared there for a moment at the end of the third quarter. We thought that Beatty was going to be coming out for a moment, but turned out it was just a little bit of an injury that he was able to overcome. He always does. I've seen him come back time and time from injuries, and this time is no exception. He was part of that play, but just could not get it to drop in. 6:23 to go in this game, 43-37, and the lead is now down to 6 for the Panthers, and Hobbs they continue this, they may be able to tie this up sooner than expected, or at least sooner than anticipated with the way they were playing. But, hey, you know what? You wake up in the fourth quarter, you get things done, and sometimes that's all that matters, what you're leading in the end. And that is going to be an inbound for 3, misses off the side for Beatty, and going the other way quickly and running it up underneath, and that is going to be somebody you don't want to sleep on, Brazil, for his 2 points, 4 altogether, two buckets for him. And now Beatty with the ball, goes ahead and pushes it off to the right to Hernandez, back to Clay, over to Beatty, top of the arc as he is guiding the offense, over to Soria as Beatty goes to the left wing. And Soria back to Beatty, thought about a 3, but instead drives the lane, tries to get it around him and loses it on a dribble, and it'll be a turnover for Hobbs. Goes underneath for the 2 points, that is Beck, to take advantage of the turnover. Beatty on the other side, though, trying to get it in, could not roll it up and in, and misses that shot. Another turnover for Hobbs, as they are starting to rack those up as well. 3 altogether in this quarter. 5:23 to go, 47-37, a 10-point lead for the Panthers. And it will be going back the other way, as it is going to be an offensive foul on Bartlett away from the ball. I believe that is, I think they're saying that's number 5 for him. They're not showing it on the board, of course. Not sure if he's fouled out or not, but nevertheless, though, he is on the bench. So they're going to have to substitute him, and they're putting in Vat Berry, number 2. So 10-point lead for the Panthers, 5:19 to go in this game. Hobbs trying to come back strong, and they're going to get the ball on the backcourt. It'll be Soria to Clay to inbound. Back to Soria. Going to guide the offense as he's playing point guard. Going to go to his right-hand side to Hernandez. Hernandez with the ball. Tries to get it to David. A bad pass, and it's going to be blocked. KJ with the ball, and he's going to go ahead and go not only the steal, but the 2 points to get a quick bucket. 49-37, just under 5 minutes to go. Malachi with the ball right now. Inside to Soria, almost a bad pass, and over to the right wing for Hernandez. 3 on the way, and good. Drains a 3, first one for Hernandez. First bucket for Hernandez, too. 49-40, 9-point lead back now as it is Beck with the ball. The senior going to get past Clay, get double teamed, and get it over to KJ Miller, who's going to drive the lane on the left-hand side. Puts a nice roll-in shot there for 2. 51-40 now with 4:20 to go. Soria with 3 on the left wing off the front. Rebounded by Malachi. Puts it up and puts it in. Nice cleaning of the glass. Used the Windex very nicely. 9 points again with Beck against Clay. Beck bats out again with 4 minutes to go as he is guarded by Clay. Clay comes up again. Backed again as he is near the timeline with Beck. Off to the center now. Moves. It looks like there will be a foul called against Clay. Going out will be, looks like that is Proby. It's Soria as the Panthers inbound the ball. KJ Miller with the ball on the left wing right now near the timeline. Being guarded against Beatty. Beatty reaches in, and unfortunately that's going to be a foul against him. And they don't have an indicator on who has how many fouls, but there are 3 team fouls for Hobbs. So still not in double bonus yet. 3:37 remaining, though, as it is Beck. Holding the ball. Down to 3:30. Lost the ball. Clay picked it up. Steal for him as he drives the lane. And unfortunately, that is going to be a push foul on Clay, as it will be no basket. He extended his arm, and it may or may not have been a push. Nevertheless, though, he will get the push foul. So that was his 4th steal, but nevertheless, unable to make the basket count simply because of the offensive foul. 3:16 to go. 9-point difference, 51-42. And that'll be out of bounds. Last touch by Hernandez. So just in front of the timeline now, as it'll be Barry going to, that'll be Miller, KJ Miller with the ball in the backcourt. Works it across the timeline with just a little over 3 minutes to go in this game. Hernandez covering him. Goes inside underneath, and a nice assist for Miller, and it will be putting it up for Calicut. His first bucket of the game. Going the other way quickly is Clay, trying to get the shot up, and it will not be from the right-hand side be made. However, he will draw the foul. Clay has been to the line the most. He is 1 of 6, And he has the opportunity to get 2 more. First one is up and in. Lovington is losing to Lubbock Christian right now at halftime, 36-16. It is also the girls at halftime, 38-8 over Oregon Mountain. And it is Lovington on top of Jal in the third quarter for the girls, 32-28. Makes the second one. It is now 53-44. Back to KJ Miller near the timeline, once again being guarded by Soria. Inside, over to the right for a 3, in and out, and that will be rebounded by Hernandez. And it looks like it'll be a jump ball in the process. So that was a 3-pointer that was missed by Barry. 2:22 remaining and a timeout on the floor. Let's go ahead and take one quick timeout, come back as we've got a thriller in here, and it's not over yet, but it is down by 9, 53-44, as you listen right here on Cool 95.7 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles are trying to get the win back here again after they won the championship for the Hobbs All-Area Tournament, and also getting ready for the Albuquerque Metro that is coming up starting on Tuesday. We'll be talking about that after this game. Right now, 2:22 to go, 53-44 is the score. And Clay with the ball going to the left-hand side. Over to Soria on the right with a 3 on the way. Misses, and it will be rebounded by Hernandez. Over to Clay for a 3. In and out, and that is missed. Malachi almost had the ball, but instead goes out of bounds. Looks like his last touch by Permian. Nope. To the disgust of the Eagles, it is not. It will be a turnover for Hobbs as it goes back the other way for Permian. Quickly on the front court. Over to Barry. Barry back over to KJ Miller, who is on the left-hand wing now against Beatty. Beatty goes ahead and he gets around Beatty and ends up on the floor. I do believe that's going to be a, they're going to call that against Beatty. I believe it's his 4th. He's not being called out of it yet, so it's definitely his 4th. As to the line to shoot 2 will be KJ Miller. He is 2 of 4. Make that 2 of 5. And that one makes it 2 of 6. 1:47 remaining, but they do get the rebound to Permian. With 1:43 to go, time is in short supply. Got away with a travel on that one, looked like, as KJ had the ball. Backs it all the way to the timeline, gets double teamed, goes ahead and throws it out, gets to Soria, and Hernandez gets it back to Soria again on the left wing. Going to try to drive the lane, gets double teamed, and will get it to Clay for a 3 off the back of the mark, but instead it'll be a rebound. Hernandez tries to put up a running shot, and misses. And let's see where it goes. as that was rebounded once again by Hernandez off the missed shot from Soria. And it looks like it'll be going back to the Panthers. Another turnover for Hobbs. Actually, looks like that'll be foul on Hobbs, so that's what's going to happen. Going to go back the other way for the 2 points. This time around, it'll be Beck who does the shooting. He was 3 of 4 at half. He is now 4 of 5 for the game so far with 2 opportunities right here. First one is in. 10-point lead now for the Panthers with 1:17 to go. 54-44. Panthers in the bonus. One more foul, and Hobbs will be in the bonus for the rest of the game, and that is going to go as well. Actually, looks like there was a lane violation, so let's see. There was a call from one of the ref that was on this side of the court. And it looks like they did count the bucket or the foul. So both sides are back to their benches. 1:17 to go. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break as we continue coverage right here on Cool 95.7 on the Facebook page and on the World Wide Web on YouTube. Time is a major factor with 1:17 to go in this game. 11-point deficit for the Hobbs Eagles over these Panthers. And again, they had a 7-game losing streak. They hadn't won here since 2014. Of course, that was when the Hobbs Eagles had their championship run for the 2014-2015 season. And we're hoping to see a little bit of a comeback. They've been doing it before, and I think they can do it again. But it's going to take a lot of effort, a Herculean effort, and a lot of defense to be able to get the ball, keep it out of the hands of Permian from them scoring. But one step at a time, one basket at a time, and in the meantime, we're going to get back into it. Once again, 1:17 to go, 55-44, and Hobbs with the ball as they go to the backcourt for it. Be Soria to Clay to inbound and go from there. So Clay with the ball across the timeline, goes to his left. He's going to drive the lane, had an open lane, and in and out, no good. Gets his own rebound and puts it up, misses again. And that time around, it is Beck who gets the rebound. Clay, though, did try. As it is now passed across into the hands of, well, that'd be that'd be Beck. To Miller, over to Brazel, and then back over to Barry. They're all playing keep away at this point with 40 seconds remaining. Trying to make sure that they avoid the foul. They finally got one. Could be by any one of those two. This time it looks like it'll be Clay who gets the call with 36.96 remaining. And, there was a bucket on the other side. I'm going to find out who that was in a moment. So it's an 8-point lead, or 9-point lead. First one for Barry. His first attempt is no good. One more on the line. He's only had 2 points so far in this game. Gets the bounce. It bounces out. Malachi David with the rebound. His 6th. And Soria pushes it up and in. Looks like he's going to get the and one as well, as Soria was able to get 2 more points to drop. Push foul, and again, the and one for Soria. Soria, first time on the line, he is 30 of 33 for the season. Would like to get 33 of 30. Let's see, that'd be 31 of 34. Actually, it looks like they did not count the bucket. First one misses. So 30 of 34, now 31 of 35. Quick foul for Hobbs. This time around it looks like it can be KJ going to the line. 27.39 remaining. And as they probably say over here, it's Miller time. He's going to see if he can get any more points. He has already had 2 of 6. Make that 2 of 7. Nope. 3 of 7. So made the first one, missed the second one. Back the other way for Soria with just 23 seconds to go. Back to Clay, top of the arc. Needs to get it in the bucket as he still dribbles around. 16 seconds left, drives the lane, pushes it up, misses. Rebound is going to be by Brazil, and that should be about the end of the game as it is KJ Miller is going to go ahead and drive it across, push it out. Soria with the ball now with 3 seconds to go. Clay, and he's going to make a half-point attempt, or half-court attempt, and that will be the end of the game. A 10-point loss for the Hobbs Eagles as the final score is 57-47. We'll be back in 3 minutes as we continue coverage right here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're in Odessa, Texas. Thanks for watching. Sorry, I didn't get the sound on for the internet, but continue on. So let's get back into it. And Beck again had 19 points, 11 points for KJ Miller. It's Barry with 2 points, 0 for 2 from the line. While it was 7 of 6 for Beck, he just missed 1. While it was 3 of 8 for KJ Miller in that game, as well as let's see, it was Brazil who was 1 for 2 from the line, had 2 buckets, and got 5 points altogether for the game. Calicut with 2 points on a bucket. 3 trays for Bartlett in the first half, and that was 9 points. Everett got 2 trays, one in the first and one in the second, for his 11 points, as he went 2 for 2 from the line. The squad, once again, like I said, had 6 3-pointers, and that was after having 5 3-pointers in the first half. For the Hobbs Eagles, they fared pretty well, but not well enough to be able to get the game. As let's start with Beatty. He had 2 buckets for 4 points there, 3 of 4 from the line, 7 points altogether, as he had 2 assists and 1 steal, 2 rebounds for Beatty as well. For Malachi David, he had 10 points in the first half, managed to get 2 buckets in the second and get 14, as he was 0 for 1 from the line. He did manage to get 6 rebounds for David. And like I said, 11 points altogether. Soria, who was doing really well in the first half. He had 5 points. He had a tray to his name. Only got 2 points in the second half and ended up with 1 for 2 from the line, 10 points altogether, so he was able to get double digits. 3 Hobbs players in double digits, and that's including Josiah Clay, who had a pretty good game. Kept it even, 2 for 2 in the first, and 4 more points in the second half. Was only 3 of 7 on the line, was on the line the most of all the Hobbs Eagles. 3 of 7, though, but it did have 5 rebounds and had 4 steals and 1 assist. 13 points is what Josiah Clay did rack up. And for last, it is Javon Hernandez, who came in with 3 points, got a tray, and I believe that's his first one of the season. I'm not sure, but definitely got 3 points to him, and that helped his cause as well. But again, one of the problems that they were having was second chance points as well as free throws. And for the free throws, it was just 50%, 7 of 14 for the Hobbs Eagles. Turnovers, not a whole lot, but didn't need them really, as it was just 7 turnovers for the Panthers and 10 turnovers for the Hobbs Eagles. So that drops them to 11-1 as they move on to a game on Tuesday, as they're going to be playing in the Albuquerque tournament. And it looks like it's going to be against, I want to say that it's going to be La Cueva. As La Cueva, they have a record of 6-3 against La Cueva. Last time they played them was 2018, and I do believe that was in the playoffs. Of course, Hobbs was able to win that one, and they have a 3-game winning streak against the La Cueva Bears. For the Hobbs Lady Eagles, if they win this one, of course they'll have a nice little streak going on, and they'll be facing the Atrisco Heritage Academy Lady Jaguars. And that one is a 3-0 record against that squad, and it goes back to 2018. Actually, it's 2016 is when they played them. 2016, 2017, and again 2018. 3-0. Last time it was an 86-51 victory for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. And again, that was in the playoffs. So let me double check to make sure I got the times right on both of those, because they will be on the internet, and Hobbs boys will be, of course, on the radio on Cool 95.7 like they are right now. Let's see. For the boys, it will be at West Mesa. The time to tip-off is set up for 5:15. And again, it will be against La Cueva Bears. For the girls, same time but different location. 5:15 is the tip-off. I'll be bringing you that one over on the Eagle 100.5 on the page, on the Facebook page. And, of course, Cool 95.7 is where the Eagles will be on the Facebook page. For the girls, it will be against Atrisco Heritage. 5:15 is the start. Then the next day, it'll be either Highland or La Cueva for their next opponent, depending on who wins that bracket. For the boys, they're going to be facing again West. Let's see, no, not West Mesa. It'll be La Cueva, and that throws me off when I hear both of those. But for the boys, it'll be La Cueva, and then they will face at West Mesa the winner between Rio Rancho and West Mesa. You got to think that it'll be a tight game on that one, especially because of the home court advantage. But for the right now, it is unfortunate that we have to let you know that once again the Hobbs boys lose by 10, 57-47. And they did put an effort out, but they just could not get into it. In fact, scoring-wise, it was 9-18 in the first. Hobbs was down by 9. Then in the second quarter, it was 11-12, 11 for Hobbs and 12 for the Panthers. And that was a 30-20 score halftime. 12 points for the boys on the third quarter, while Panthers got 13. And it was 15-14. Hobbs won that one just by 1 to get the 10-point unfortunate loss, 47-57. Now the boys on the JV squad were able to pull out a victory. The final score on that one was 79-67. And we were all hoping to think that that would do play over to the boys as well, but unfortunately it did not. So we will wrap this up. We'll be back again on Tuesday for the boys and the girls in Albuquerque, as we are facing them in the Albuquerque Metro Tournament. For Evie Stuber back at the station, for Paul Zielinski, and for Mom for listening, making sure everything is working perfectly, along with Ty Friend. I want to thank everybody for being here. For Max Schrack, I am Ron Gunter. I want to thank you for being here. And before we go, though, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout-out to our sponsors, because without them, we would not be able to put these on the air. Thanks to Eastern New Mexico University, Lasco Construction, Badger, TDS, First American Bank of Hobbs, Master Plumbers, NMR Pipeline, Divine Energy Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, SunGuard Precision, Southwest Siding, Windows and Doors, Bel Air Bowl, Lee County State Bank, Forest Tire, and DNC Electric. For Ty Friend, I am Ron Gunner. I want to appreciate you being here. He'll be back on Tuesday, and I'll be with the girls as we continue coverage of the Hobbs Eagle basketball. We're at halftime already for the season. That's amazing, right? Well, take care of yourselves. Have a good Saturday, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye.